we have a society that very much is focused around change, right? We talk about, I'm unhappy, I want to change my job, I don't like my team, I want to go to a new team, I don't like my boyfriend, I want to get a new one, I don't like where I live, I'm going to go somewhere else, whatever your dynamic may be. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we talk about change, but we don't talk about shift. Change is moving from one situation into another. But the thing about it is that I can move out of one bad situation and change jobs or change teams into another bad situation, right? The idea and what we actually really need to do is shift. And shifting is about growth, right? Shifting is about evolution. Shifting is about how am I evolving, right? In a process. It's not a static thing. I don't shift now and then it's done. It's something that carries me and I carry with me throughout my entire lifespan, right? And I think that we need to embrace shift and move away from this idea of change. And I think that if we do that, it means that we are going to be in constant evolution. I think jobs where there is automation is a problem. I mean, ChatGPT is my favorite tool. I don't call my lawyer anymore. I start with ChatGPT. You do a lot of the stuff up front yourself. Copywriting, data analytics. There's so many things that AI has been able to replicate. But I don't think that AI can replace human beings, and I think it can't replace human beings primarily for what I spoke about when I opened, and that is because each and every single one of us are unique. There are 7.8 billion people on the planet, and no other person is like you. Somebody can be similar to you, somebody can have similar characteristics to you, but nobody can replicate you. That is why 10 people can come up with the same business idea, right? Or 10 people can apply for the same job, only one gets it. Or I come in 10th with a business that's been done 9 times before me, but I get in there and I'm super successful. That's got a lot to do with what it is that I'm bringing to the table uniquely as myself. So I think there's definitely a place for technology and for AI in terms of what we do, but I think it's incredibly important for us to know that it cannot replicate us. And we almost have to step up and own and claim, right, that uniqueness that we all have. We almost have to step up and be brave, right, to say, well, I'm going out on a limb. There's no analytics that say this is the right decision. There is nothing written down that says if I do things this particular way, but I've got a gut feel. My intuition says, right? Steve Jobs talks about connecting the dots, and you can't connect them going forward, you can only connect them going the other way around. And I think that's all about being intuition-led. And all of that has a lot to do with authenticity. If you've got 5 CVs that look absolutely identical, what is the right one to put in front of my client? If a candidate is giving you a runaround and you cannot for the life of you figure out what it is that they actually want, what is the lever that you need to pull in order to be able to get them on track in terms of a process, that is a human intervention that no AI can replicate for you. And so I think it's important for us to step into that and to acknowledge that. My favorite story is about a candidate of mine. She used to work for Tiger Brands, and she was the MD of their groceries business. And Tiger Brands was very much into diversity, and they wanted different people. And the thing about authenticity is that it says, I'm different to you, you're different to me, but it's okay, right? The differences that we all bring to the table mean that we can innovate better. It means that we can solve better for challenges that we have in our businesses, right? There's different thinking. And she was a person of color, and she had this phenomenal business that she was looking after. And one of the ways she was able to innovate in that particular business is that baked beans was one of the products that they looked after. And when she was at home in the township, They had a delicacy called chakalaka. So if everybody's South African, we all know what chakalaka is, right? And she went back to the guys at Tiger and she said, hey, why don't we put this in a tin, right? Why don't we tin it and make it a product, create a product line out of this? And in an environment where diversity is celebrated, right? In an environment where we absolutely acknowledge that, yes, we're all different, we have dissenting views, but somebody could bring something to me that could absolutely turn my business around, right? And we create room for that. I think it's an absolute game changer in today's society when business is so competitive. So she was able to do phenomenal things in that business. I mean, that Koo brand does phenomenally. That Koo baked beans chakalaka flies off the shelves, and that business was able to do so incredibly well. We know that authenticity in business has a place. It allows us to connect with us. When we're connected to ourselves, it means that we can connect to other people. We can connect to our customers. We can connect to our colleagues, right? Because we're tied into a grid of truth and interconnectivity in the world. I'm connected to me. You're connected to you. We're connected to each other. So I know what matters to you, and I can bring that to you. And so I think that it can inspire It can inspire innovation. It can create a lot of opportunity where there isn't any. And it can allow us as recruiters to expand our businesses. So we started out just doing pure recruitment, but we, through just being able to look at ourselves and the journeys of our candidates, have been able to come up with new and innovative solutions that we've been able to put in front of our clients that are not necessarily recruitment focused, but our clients definitely need them. And that's just understanding that I'm a human being, I'm a person, I have particular needs, but so are my candidates. When our candidates get to our clients and they're in their exit interview, it's too late by then. Right? They're out the door. The clients want to know before it gets to that phase, how can I retain my top guys? How can I create a value proposition that they want to be here, that they are engaged when they're at work? And so in our recruitment process, we can start to look for that. And that's if we're connecting correctly, right, with our candidates. That's if we understand them correctly and we're not just relying on the AI. And that's if our clients, by the way, are being authentic and purpose-led and telling the truth about what it is that they're looking for as well. Because that's when we can really make the proper matches. When a client has in their mind what they think they're looking for, and then you just go along with it, right, there's inauthenticity in that. Inauthenticity in that particular process, you're going to put the wrong person into that job, right? It's not going to be sustainable. The person is going to leave. So we want to make sustainable matches in our clients' businesses. So I think it becomes incredibly important for us to be able to tap into ourselves in terms of that. Anybody try call a call center recently to try solve something? And you just get a machine that sends you to a whole bunch of options that have got absolutely nothing to do with what you're looking to resolve. And you spend 20 minutes on the phone just trying to get to press 0 for an operator, right? And that, I think, is just case in point around how it's so incredibly important to not just go AI heavy or digital heavy, and to really find a good balance. You embrace the technology, but you've got to find a good balance. When is my human intervention needed? When is it efficient to have the technology? Because you lose the connectivity, right, with your customers. You lose the connectivity with your candidates. You lose the connectivity with your clients when we don't do this and we push to just automate.